Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to episode 15 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Gracie.
And I'm Nicole, and this is your source for entertainment news, reviews, interviews, and conversations.
You can find us wherever you watch or listen to your podcasts on Spotify or YouTube.
Yes, and we have, again, I need to figure out something different to say in these intros because I say the same thing every week, but the entertainment news world never stops. So we have a lot to talk about this week, including, as I'm sure you can guess, the D23 announcements. That is an extensive list. So let's get right into it. Gracie, would you like to start off with today?
I feel like we have to start off with D23 after you said we have an extensive list.
I guess I
But
could have set it up for that, didn't I?
yeah, D23. A lot was said. Some good, some not wanted, but it is what it is.
For
Starting
anyone who doesn't know what D23 is, do you want to explain what it is for them?
D23, for those of you who don't know, is an expo that happens every year that Disney holds basically as a big fan event. It's a 3-day thing. Really only the first and second day are used for big announcements, and then the third is kind of just like a party. But yeah, it's a big expo they hold every year to talk about their upcoming releases as well as their new releases. So that's why we have so many releases on this list this week. Starting off strong with one that I didn't see coming, but maybe other people did. Incredibles 3 has been announced. It's in the works. There's no set release date or release year at this point. It's literally just in the works. So, what it will be about, obviously the family, but I don't know.
I agree with you. I did not see that coming at all. I never heard any like speculation there was a third one coming. I didn't necessarily expect it from the way that the second one ended.
Yeah.
So see, but they're really releasing their thirds too because we got a Frozen 3 announcement for 2027. So you got a few years to go. But again, I don't know. I mean, let's be real. Frozen, the original Frozen, was such a success for animation, for Disney. It was a changing in all of that. The second one was not as good in my opinion. Like it just
No.
definitely was not even close to being as good as the original. So I'm not really sure how I feel about a third one because I think we should just let Frozen be. It was so great. Why do we have to keep going with it and ruining it?
I have a hunch that the third one is going to be Anna gets these powers of like the opposite of Elsa, just because they can.
That would actually we're getting Fireboy and Lava Girl or whatever that name is,
Literally.
that game online, but Frozen version.
Yeah, yeah. But going back, not a third, but a second, Moana 2 is coming out November 27th. They also released the official trailer, full trailer, because they did release the teaser trailer before D23. And Moana is a big sister, apparently.
Yeah.
So don't know where that was in the first movie, but slay.
It's a time jump apparently, because
Yeah, I guess. But it looks good.
it could
I
be
don't,
cute. It's giving like, you know how Little Mermaid 2, it's Ariel's daughter. It's not
yeah.
her sister because she has siblings in the first movie. But it's giving very much like Little Mermaid 2-esque vibes. So
I
I'm
love
actually pretty
Moana.
excited. Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't ruin the original by trying to make a second one.
Yeah.
So, and we also have the live action that's coming out, which
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of confused about that. Like when I was reading comments on all the posts from D23, they're like, wait, wasn't there a live action? What is this movie? So there's two. We got
there
two
is
Moanas, two very different Moanas coming out. There's the Moana 2 and the live action Moana, which will be, I think, both equally interesting in their own rights. But I agree. I hope it's not like a Frozen situation and with the Moana 2. So I have high hopes. I mean, the cast is great, so we'll see.
how
I don't
about
know.
okay, how are we feeling about Zootopia too?
That's another one. Where did that come
I
from?
did not need a second one of this movie.
I have to say I love Zootopia. I
Oh, I
do.
love it.
I haven't watched it in a long time. Now I feel like I need to go watch it now because I'm excited thinking about the second one. But I don't know. I don't know. We talk about this a lot. I just don't think everything needs sequels. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like for a Disney X, no hate on Disney. I love Disney. But for a Disney Expo, it seems like they released nothing but sequels and prequels and third movies, and then one or two originals that it seems like no one could care less about.
yeah. Like don't get me wrong, it's fun to see, but it's just not like there could be so many original ideas that could be so great and building on new things and not necessarily just having to go back and make sequels to everything. But with that being said, who doesn't love Judy Hopps?
You know what I'm not feeling?
A
You want to talk
but
about stretching uh franchise?
I know where this is going.
Let's talk about Toy Story 5.
I am so mad about this because Toy Story 4 ended. Like, they completely wrapped the entire franchise with a nice, pretty bow. Like, the ending was great. Woody went off with Bo Peep. It was fine. Everything was great. And they made a whole thing. Like, all the publicity around it was that it's the end. This is going to be the last movie. This is the end of the story for them. And now we're coming back again? What do
And
you mean?
somehow they're all back in a room. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but apparently, keeping it modern, this one's supposed to follow toys versus technology.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's very true and very relatable, but I'm also like, I feel like you're grasping at straws right now to try and stay like relevant in a
Yeah.
way for this franchise. And
Yeah.
as I said before, they tied it up so perfectly in the last one.
Yeah.
Everybody went on their own paths and it just worked. And
Yeah.
then out of nowhere, we have Toy Story 5, but also the animation looks so different that I just don't like it.
I like why are we bringing iPad kids into the Toy Story world?
For real.
Like, and it's just so weird because this is coming out in the summer 2026. So it's coming out 31 years after the original. Toy Story, the original is 1995. So I think we can lay it to rest now. Like, it's good. Toy Story is an again, it's something that, so many generations of people at this point love and know whether you grew up with it, you were an adult when the first one came out, you love it. But we just don't need to keep going with it. Like,
Nothing
it's
like
good.
it's such an iconic movie, and I
Yeah.
know they want to try and make it for like each generation, but it's one of those movies that you can watch it at any generation and it's still gonna be like a hit.
Every kid plays with toys. Every kid wants to, like, in the movie we see them trying to go to the arcade and like the pizza world and stuff like that. Like, that's something you can relate to. Like, it's still relevant, I would say.
Yeah,
Like, it's fun. It's toys. You don't need to keep making it modernized just for the sake of adding a phone into it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, another one we got, which I'm intrigued, like we've talked about a little bit, but we finally got the first full trailer for the live action Snow White with Rachel Zegler in it, coming out next March, is it? March 2025, I
Yes.
think. You know what? I know this has gotten so much hate.
Hmm?
I know it's gotten so much hate, and I actually think the doors look a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. They do look a little frightening. But I think I'm kind of excited for this movie. I think it has good potential because everything that Rachel Zegler has put out, like I've generally liked everything that she's been in, but especially recently, every project that she's been in, it's been pretty good. That girl is very hardworking and she shines through her projects that you can see the passion that she has for her characters. Um, so I'm excited. And Snow White's my favorite Disney princess, so I'm a little bit of a sucker already for it. But yeah.
I think the costumes in this look fantastic. Like Gal Gadot looks fantastic as the evil
Yeah.
queen. Like scary, similar to the original, which was literally just a cartoon, but somehow it just works.
Yeah.
And the only thing I don't like about Rachel Zegler's look is how short her hair is.
It's a little too short.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like unnerving, where it's like it should be a little bit longer. It kind of just looks like a bowl cut right now, and
It does.
I feel so bad because I'm like, they did you dirty. I wish her hair was that little bit longer just so it looked more natural.
Yeah.
Um, but she looks like she's killing this role. I don't understand the controversy. Like,
Yeah.
yes, things were said that people didn't like, but from the trailer, it looks pretty true to the original, so no complaints here.
But let's talk about something original for a second. We have Disney Pixar's first series, Win or Lose. So it's a TV series. This was first announced back in December of 2020. And it's an animated series. It follows a co-ed middle school softball team called the Pickles in the week leading up to their big championship game. Each 20-minute episode takes the same events from one different member of the Pickles and their perspective as the game approaches, such as players, their parents, and the umpire, with two stories being showcased in particular. I'm sorry, your face is killing me right now. You do not look impressed.
I no, okay. Fair to say I'm not excited for this in the least. But my problem is Disney and Pixar originals used to slap. Like they were iconic. They were for everyone. This just feels like they're not trying.
Like, why are they called the Pickles? You're telling me?
Why are we looking at a baseball team?
But you're telling me out of all these creative minds at Pixar, you couldn't come up with a name for a softball team other than the Pickles? What softball team have you ever heard of that's called the Pickles or named out of any food?
Well, like even the trailer I watched and I was like, you know what? I'll give it hope. But it just looks no hate again, no hate to Disney. I love Disney, but it looks so lame.
Yeah. Maybe we're just not the age demographic now at this
I
point, so it's hard
know.
for it to be
I
something.
know, but like, really, really, guys, you're telling me there's that many creative people and you came up with a softball team with 20 episodes of the same thing, just from different perspectives?
Yeah. Of the pickles. I'm not getting over the pickles. I'm
The
sorry.
pickles. But
Pickles.
like 20 episodes, and it's the same thing over and over again, just different perspectives.
Yeah, that's an aggressive amount of the same story in different forms.
Like, I don't know, maybe we're both wrong and it's going to be the best thing we've ever seen,
Maybe.
but I'm just not feeling it.
Well, switching gears from animation back to live action for a second, we have two. So, something I was excited to see, pleasantly surprised, is they showed what Stitch would look like in the live action Lilo and Stitch. And you know what? I was a very much a hater of this idea when they first announced live action Lilo and Stitch because I just could not imagine a live action Stitch looking normal in any sense. He's so cute. I
I
love
literally
him. I
I
love
literally
him.
made a video about it too, and I was like, don't worry, guys, it's not the Sonic thing all over again. And
Yeah, that was bad.
yeah, like he looks so cute. I love
I
him.
love him. I'm excited. And I thought it was so cute how they did the announcement if because you saw the video obviously of him like jumping out of the screen. I was like, "Oh, you little cute thing. I love you." I'm very excited. You know, I think I've only actually seen Lilo and Stitch once ever in my life. I watched it when I was in Disney World as a kid, and it was like on the Disney hotels, how they do like the moonlight movie
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of things. Well, they did Lilo and Stitch. I think that's the only time I've ever seen it, but I enjoyed it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. We also have Mufasa, which is a prequel to The Lion King. I am flabbergasted by this one because newsflash, Mufasa was an orphan and Scar actually took him in and brought him into the family. And now people are like, "Oh, it makes sense why Scar is so petty because he took the crown from him." I'm like, this is going to be such a dramatic Disney movie.
Can we please just normalize being petty without having to have a big reason behind it?
You and me every day.
No, but okay. I might be the only person in the world that has this opinion, but I have never been a big Lion King fan. Like, even as a kid, it just was not a movie I was ever super interested in. So I saw the live action Lion King when it came out, what, 2018?
Probably.
Something around and it was good. Like I enjoyed it, and I definitely think it was like physically it looked very good. The animation, whatever, was done well. Not that it's live action and
CGI.
type thing. Yeah. See, there we go. I was like, what is it called? CGI was done well. But why? Why? The original Lion King came out in 1994, okay? Why in 2024 are we getting a prequel? Why 30 years later do we now need to explain why the history behind Mufasa and Scar?
We're grasping at straws. We've said this.
Like, that's so unnecessary. I don't know. I'm just not a
Have
big
you,
Lion King
okay,
person.
you're not a big Lion King person. Have you watched Lion King 1.5?
I haven't actually.
Oh my God, so good. I feel like that'll change your life.
Okay. All
I
right.
feel like it'll change your perspective on the Lion King. You got to watch that one.
Okay, this is my homework for next episode. I'm gonna watch The Lion King
Yeah,
one
if
and a half.
that's not your weekly watch, next week I'm gonna be pretty upset.
Oh man. All right, well, I'm willing to give it a chance, but I still don't think Mufasa is necessary 30 years later. But who knows? I mean, it looks decent in its own right, but I do agree it looks super dramatic. It just feels unnecessary to me, but maybe that's just me.
We're like hating on Disney today.
Sorry, Disney. But if you've listened to any of the other podcasts, you know, like if you're listening, you know that Gracie and I feel there's too many sequels. And the whole D23 was basically sequels and prequels. I don't know. But yeah, another one that I'm on the fence about is the Freaky Friday sequel. We got the name. It's called Freakier Friday. What are your thoughts?
The creative minds at Disney are back at it again with that title.
Fre-
We're back with the
Freakier
pickles.
Friday. Oh my God. Again, you're telling me not one person could come up with a more original name than Freakier Friday.
I mean, it is a good play on words.
It
Like, I'll
is.
give them
Yeah.
that. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I know it's been wanted by fans because it's such a beloved like
Yeah.
film, the first one. I don't know. And they kind of confirmed, I know we've talked about this before on the podcast, and I was like, oh, I have a feeling that it's going to be like a multi-person switch. And I think in an interview clip, they confirmed that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I am
Look
so
at you go.
talented. Look at me
Predicting the future.
go. So yeah, Lindsay Lohan's character is married, which confuses me why Chad Michael Murray is coming back
Yeah.
when it's not to him. So I don't know if there's trouble in paradise, but we'll find out.
I'm really okay. What I'm not driving with at the moment is we have a few set photos from D23. Tell me why Jamie Lee Curtis's hair is giving me Cruella de Vil vibes. She has like she has a gray little bob going on here with some bangs. I don't know. It's just that is not the hairstyle that I envision Jamie Lee Curtis having. It's
Well,
like in
didn't she
Halloween.
have that hairstyle in Halloween?
I was just saying, in Halloween she had the hairstyle, but not this like in the set photos. It's all styled right from Freak Your Friday, so it's like curled and it's sitting nicely, but it's just giving very like evil witch Cruella de Vil vibes. Whereas in the Halloween movies, the newer ones, it's more of like, she's being chased by a masked murderer and her hair's a little tangled, so it looks more acceptable.
I feel like, yeah. Well, it's one of those ones we'll have to watch it to actually like fully decide whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
All right. We have a lot to go through still. So
Yeah, let's just do a
I'm
quick
thinking
rundown.
rapid fire.
Yeah, okay.
You do one,
So
I do one.
let's do it. Okay, we got Daredevil Born Again coming March 2025.
The Greatest Showman, which is becoming a musical on Broadway
We have Monster Jam movie,
with The Rock, which I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but like I'm very confused on how we're
yeah,
making Monster Jam a movie.
right?
Whatever. Percy Jackson season 2 is now in production and it will be streaming in 2025.
We also have The Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming May 2026.
Avatar 3 is titled Avatar Fire and Ash, and right now it's set for December 19th, 2025.
which again, sorry, I know it's rapid fire. I'm very excited for. I think I loved, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I loved The Way of Water. And I love the name Fire and Ash. I think that's a great name. So I'm very excited for
I'm
this.
just confused on what the fourth one's gonna be. Is it just gonna be like air?
I think no, well, because the first one's supposed to be land. Is that what it is? Or is it
Yeah,
air?
I guess it's land, water, fire, and then like
Air.
air, but they already fly.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm confused on that. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see in like 5 years down the road.
yeah.
Um, Dream Productions 2025.
Which is based on Inside Out, Riley's Dreams. Not even gonna start talking about that, but whatever. Skeleton Crew, which is a new Star Wars show, is coming out December 3rd this year.
Then we have an original Disney Pixar film coming spring of 2026 titled Hoppers. Is
We
that
also
supposed to
have
be like an Easter movie?
it's from the photo of it, it looks like a groundhog kind of.
Oh, oh, no. Oh my God, what is that? He looks like Beaver. Is he a beaver? I think he's a
Maybe. You know
I
what?
think he's
Maybe he's
beaver
Beaver.
because he has the tail.
But like he's the hoppers.
Why? Okay, hold on. Why is there someone in like a hell? Okay, the boy that's sitting in a chair, who's I don't know what that's actually supposed to be. It's definitely not what I think it is, but it looks like he's in a hair salon.
Yeah, I don't like it. But
Okay, sorry, it's not an Easter movie, everyone. I just that was my very first thought, but it's not an Easter movie.
not to be confused with Hop.
No, which iconic.
Iconic.
Love.
Love it. Um, we have another original movie, Elio, which is coming summer 2025.
I feel like that movie has been coming forever to the
Yeah.
point where when I saw this, I thought it was a sequel announcement because I could have sworn it already
Yeah.
came out.
So did I.
Anyways, then we have Frozen live on stage coming to Disney Plus in 2025.
And lastly, we have Hercules the Musical coming to London West End in summer 2025. So if you're not in London, that sucks.
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck in this case.
Wow. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot. So let us know what you think on socials. We'll put a poll on Spotify too. Let us know in the comments on YouTube what you're thinking about all of these releases. Okay, what is your very favorite one, Gracie? I know we kind of did not love a lot of them, but what are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, my top two are Percy Jackson season two, and because they gave a short little clip of it, and it looks so good. Puberty hit him like a truck in between season one and season two, though. Holy
Yep.
crap. And I'm really excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie because I love them so much.
I think I'm most excited either for live action Snow White or Moana 2, but I will say I'm very curious about Zootopia 2 because I know we were saying I'm just curious about it. I'm excited to see what it's going to be about, but
Mhm.
I'm probably most excited for Snow White and Moana 2. Let's move on to some other topics because there are lots of other things to talk about besides the a bajillion Disney and Pixar releases that we
I
got this week.
mean, we already started the trash talking. We might as well keep it going.
What would you like to talk about next?
Oh, you didn't I'm sad you didn't understand my
No, I
reference.
did. I did. So there
We
was a particular movie that came out on last week that has received less than amazing reviews. Gracie, what movie are we talking about?
we're talking about Borderlands, and I'm
Yeah.
honestly shocked with the reviews. Like, there's bad reviews, and then there's it literally got 0%
I
on Rotten
was sitting
Tomatoes.
I was sitting in my car. I was parked somewhere. I was waiting for something, and I texted Gracie because on my Instagram, all that was coming up was like 0% on Rotten Tomatoes for Borderlands on, I guess that was Thursday morning, so the day before it technically came out. And I was texting, I was like, there's no way this actually has 0%. And I didn't even believe it at first. I had to go and check
I thought it was a
that it had
glitch.
0%. Yeah, 0% on the tomato meter. So that's the critics' ratings.
That's like
Um,
unheard of.
I can never remember ever seeing that ever.
Like
That's
I've
crazy.
seen 1% or like
Yeah.
five. I think 5% was like the lowest I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
So currently, as of Tuesday, August 13th, the movie is sitting at a 9% on the tomato meter, and it has a 51% audience score.
For those of you who don't know, it is out of 100.
Yes, it is. Yeah, good, good,
So
good disclaimer. So Gracie and I thought it would be fun to read some of the reviews because on Rotten Tomatoes because these are outrageous. They are just brutal. I'm trying to find. I have to scroll through and find my favorite one. I actually texted Gracie it. I can't remember who said it, so I have to find it. But start off strong with one of the critic reviews. Corey Coleman of Double Toasted said Borderlands desperately rips off Guardians of the Galaxy for a cheap cash grab. The studio completely misses the point of what made the video game they're adapting so successful. There's another one from James Sainer of the Arts Desk, and his review is simply, "Come back, Madam Web. All is forgiven."
I really enjoy this one. From the MacGuffin. He says, a generic half-baked sci-fi adventure that feels like it's simply painting by numbers.
There's this one, it's Alistair Ryder from Awards Watch. He says, Borderlands is the worst kind of bad movie, the type devoid of any offbeat quirks that could propel it to a second life as a classic cult, or sorry, as a cult classic, feeling insufferable and overlong at a brisk 102 minutes because of its sheer lack of originality.
CG Magazine says, it all just looks like celebrities participating in a Borderlands themed escape room instead of an actual movie.
David Fear from Rolling Stone said, "It's not a movie for critics, as the saying goes, nor is it suitable for consumption by most gamers, film lovers, or 99% of carbon-based life forms." Oh my God. That I can't believe that.
I
So
feel like
anyways,
that's a good one to end off on.
yeah, so anyways, if you liked Borderlands, apologies, but you know, I feel like that might say a lot more about your movie likes than ours.
Yeah. This is the one time we're not wrong, but we also haven't seen the movie, so
No, nor have we played the game, so maybe this is just us being on the bandwagon of trashing it.
I
I
think
just
I'm
think
not on the bandwagon. I just find it funny.
I just think it's hilarious because I have no opinion on it. I'm not gonna go see it, but I don't like, I just think it's so unheard of for it to have such bad reviews just across the board. So anyways, yeah, go see Borderlands in theaters now. Moving on. There's been some more announcements with a film that I'm actually very intrigued to see that's coming out October 11th, 2024, movie Saturday Night, which of course follows Saturday Night Live. IMDb says at 11:30 p.m. on October 11th, 1975, a ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers changed television forever. Find out what happened behind the scenes in the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. I think this is a very cool idea for a movie. I'm actually very intrigued to see this. Definitely has my attention. I think the idea, to my knowledge, is very original. I don't think there's a movie about like the very first episode of Saturday Night Live in any way. And the cast is great. We have Dylan O'Brien portraying Dan Aykroyd, Lamorne Morris playing Garrett Morris, Matt Wood as John Belshie, Ella Hunt as Gilda Radner, Willem Dafoe, Finn Wolfhard, Gabriel LaBelle. Tons and tons of big names are in this movie. The list just keeps it going. I could just keep naming people, but yeah, that comes out in theaters October 11th. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, even the poster is just so cool. I love the poster, how they have everyone lined up, and how all the words. So if you're reading the poster from top to bottom, it says October 11th, 1975, 10 p.m. The writers are inebriated. The set is on fire. The sound system is wrecked. The actors are physically assaulting each other. The crew is in open revolt. They have 90 minutes to figure it all out, or the network is pulling the plug. Saturday night. I love that. I think that's funny. So, yeah, again, comes out October 11th. Something to look forward to.
Saturday night.
Shut up, really?
Oh, that's funny. It's the way we
Oh my God, stop. I'm so excited.
just as you finish talking about it.
Not we just summoned that.
God, we're good.
We never cease to impress me.
Literally.
It's again, I think I said this before, but it's August 13th when we're filming this. So the official Toronto International Film Festival schedule just came out. We just got a press email for it. And Saturday night is having its Canadian premiere at TIFF. So something to look forward to. Now we don't have to wait till October. But next week on the show, we'll be talking all about the TIFF schedule and what Gracie and I are looking most forward to. So next week we'll talk all about TIFF.
In other news for films, India Amartifio and Damien Hardong have been cast to lead a new coming of age romance called Into the Deep Blue. I love both of them. Obviously, we have Queen Charlotte and we have Maxton Hall coming together. So I'm super excited to see how they work together, what the dynamic and chemistry is. And it seems like a good Wattpad-esque type plot. So I'm excited for this. What do you think about it, Nicole?
For it too. I still haven't watched Maxton Hall. I've been meaning to, so I have to watch it to understand the lore, I feel like, of these two coming together. But yeah, I'm always down for a good coming of age romance, so I'm have hope for it. Okay, and lastly, on news for this week, we have some casting announcement that most people are very excited about, and I'm very excited about too. So, the book People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry is getting its film adaptation, and they have just cast the two leads. So, Tom Blythe has been cast to play Alex, and Emily Bader has been cast to play Poppy. And if you haven't seen, there's a very cute video on a call with the director talking to talking to Emily and telling her she got the role, and then Tom joins the call as well. So it's a very cute little moment for them that was caught on video. And I'm very excited. Have you actually read this book, Gracie? I know we've talked about this before. Have you read this one?
I haven't. It's on my to be read
Yeah,
list,
me too.
but I also have a huge to be read list. So
That's just a never-ending list. But yeah, I'm very excited to see Mr. Tom Blythe back on our screens. So anything with him in it, I'm in. Well, what was your watch of the week, Gracie?
my watch of the week was a crime thriller history type movie.
It
Um,
encompasses all the genres.
for real. Called 1992. It's a new film from Lionsgate. So it stars Tyrese Gibson, Scott Eastwood, Ray Liotta, Dylan Arnold, and more. It's such a good film. I got an early screener for it, so I was watching it yesterday, and I highly recommend it. It is so heartbreaking while still being such a good, like, heist movie because it is taking place during the 1992 LA uprising that happened. So it's a lot about like family and what you would do for them uh on one side of it, and then on the other side of town there's Ray Liotta and his kids doing this huge heist. So it's a nice contrast. The acting is amazing. This was actually Ray's last movie before he died. So it was sad, but it was a nice dedication to him at the end. But yeah, highly recommend it for anyone who likes crime, history, heartfelt movies. If you like movies, you'll like this. That being
Look,
said,
review.
what was your weekly watch, Nicole?
My weekly watch, it's funny because we haven't, our schedule's been very weird of how we've recorded this. So I actually went and saw this on August 1st. But Trap is my watch of the week. Ah, I I I was so sad about this movie, to be honest. I don't want to say too much because I know Gracie wants to see this still, and I don't want to like say anything, but I just was not impressed by it at all. They had M. Night Shyamalan had such a good idea with this movie. And I think that's somewhat the case with a lot of his films, that there's always such great potential for the story that he's trying to tell. For the most part, they're so original. It's so great. I loved the concept of this film having the FBI trying to track down basically a serial killer inside a concert venue that they know he's going to. They've trapped him down in there. I think that's just such a great plot for a horror movie. But the execution of this film was just not there at all. I felt that okay, Josh Hartnett did a great performance with what he was given. I thought he was very convincing and he was very creepy too. So he had a very good Like he had that down really well. Um, the daughter in the film, Ariel, her name's Ariel. Like she's a great actress. I don't think she didn't fit the role of the character that she was playing, I don't think. Like I think she like you could tell she was a great actress throughout the film, just did not match well with the character Riley that she was playing, his daughter. The other thing that I had a problem with is this film has so many plot holes. Like constantly. And you're watching it and you're thinking like, obviously a movie like this isn't going to be super realistic, but on the same end, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, okay, there's absolutely no way this would ever happen. Like, because he's walking past all these security guards and like all this stuff, and just the way he's getting away with things time after time after time after time. You're thinking, if a place like this, if an entire concert venue is on lockdown because they're looking for one guy, and you're telling me he's doing all these things and the FBI and security are just like, sure, you're fitting the exact description of the person we're looking for, but you can just go right on ahead. It just made no logistical sense. Like it just and yeah, I could just keep going on about it, but I really wanted to love this film because I was very, very excited going into it. But yeah, the anxiety was there, tension was there, like that it definitely had me on the edge of my seat for a select few scenes to see what was gonna happen. But overall, I was just kind of disappointed in this movie. I just think the execution was not there. There was many ideas missing, and there was a lot of things I don't think that were thought out fully, in the way that it kind of all meshed together in the end. And the ending kind of was not great either. So, anyways, that's still in theaters if you want to check it out. If you're, I know a lot of people who actually gave this film pretty positive reviews. I also know they're big M. Night Shyamalan fans. I feel like he has fans for his work that are very loyal to his work, and then other people who want to enjoy it. I actually came home after seeing this and watched Old, which was a film that he put out in 2021, and I
I
hadn't seen
saw your review for that. What is wrong with you?
it. Ugh, ugh. You liked it?
Yeah.
Ugh, no.
Was it my favorite movie? No, but it was a solid movie.
Like it was just yeah.
Eh.
It just had so many plot holes. It made no sense. It was just dumb. Anyways, that was not a very critical review. Sorry. That was not a very articulate review. It just, again, I found that movie to have a lot of plot holes in it too. And just like the chain of events that kept happening, it was like nothing was connected. It was just like, let's have this happen and let's have this happen. And now this is gonna happen. Anyways, sorry. I'm a big horror movie fan, if I have made that clear, but I just don't mesh well with M. Night. I'm sorry. Moving on. What was your song of the week, Gracie?
My song of the week was Carry You Home by Alex Warren. It was one of those songs that I pressed shuffle on like the new hit songs or whatever. And I heard it and I was like, this is the most beautiful, heart-wrenching song I have listened to in a long time. And it just makes me tear up because I'm like, this is so cute. And the fact that he played it at his wedding, um, it's just really cute. So it's a good love song. I love his voice. I think he's grown so much because he did start on TikTok and there was a lot of controversy whether or not he was actually going to have a music career just because people were like, you're a TikToker, don't go into music. But he has proved them wrong. He is such a powerhouse. From what I've heard, he's a very sweet guy. My friend met him when he came to Toronto, and he did a little one-on-one concert. So yeah, I love it. Such a good song. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. But Nicole, what was your song of the week?
My song of the week is actually an album of the week
Okay.
because I discovered her at Boots and Hearts this past weekend. Her name is Lauren Watkins. She is from Tennessee. I don't know. I believe she's from Tennessee. I don't know what city. But she is currently actually on tour opening for Morgan Wallen's One Night at a Time tour. And she has been doing select shows in the States, and she's actually just headed over to Europe now with him as well for the European leg of the tour. But I digress. Her most recent album is called The Heartbroken Record. It just came out in May of this year, and I saw her perform a few of the songs in the SiriusXM barn at Boots and Hearts. And she has a phenomenal voice. Her voice is so strong. When she performed in the barn, it was just her and her guitar. Uh, and they were just so, so great. And of course, I went and listened to the actual full song that she recorded on the album after as well, and it was spectacular too. So definitely check out Lauren Watkins. She has some great music. But yes, The Heartbroken Record is her most recent album, and it just came out this May. That time of
Yeah.
the episode where we are getting to the end. So we will close off with our upcoming releases. There's not too many things coming out over the next week, but there's a few to be excited for. So Gracie, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, Alien Romulus is coming to theaters August 16th. From what Nicole and I've seen and heard so far from critics, it's not their favorite. But it is very leaning very heavily into the horror genre. So maybe Nicole will love it. I probably will not. Um, but yeah, it's mixed reviews right now. So it's one of those ones you're gonna have to check out in theaters and give your review to us so we can figure out which side is right.
Yeah. It's for anyone wondering, anyone a fan of the Alien franchise, it sets between the events of Alien, the original 1979 film, and Aliens, 1986. The story concerns a group of young space colonists who, while scavenging a derelict space station, comes face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. The film stars Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, Archie Reno, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern. Yeah. Another thing I've heard is it's very gory, which is on long lines of horror. So definitely that sense. If that's not your thing, maybe this is not your movie. Although maybe you would have figured that out by the name Alien Romulus. Um, and yeah, so that comes out tomorrow in theaters along with the movie. I just thought I'd mention this. It's just on there. Ryan's World, the movie, Titan Universe Adventure. Ryan's twin sisters, Emma and Kate, get trapped in a comic book world. Ryan enters this realm to rescue them, facing adventures, battles, and mishaps while attempting to bring them back before his parents discover their disappearance. Um, that's about all I know. So it's like half animated, half live action. If you're listening, you're a parent, you're a child, maybe this will be something for you. Also comes out in theaters tomorrow. Um, but I will say this movie, reading the plot, did you ever read the series Whatever After? The book series about the girl
Mm.
who would jump through her magic mirror to get to different I don't know, the magic mirror would transport her to different fairy tales, and she wouldn't know which fairy tale she was being transported into until she got there. Her magic mirror would send her there to fix it, and it's like kind of like jumbled up fairy tale stories.
No.
Anyways. Anyways, that was my favorite series as a kid. And it's very much giving that kind of vibes where he's kind of going into the comic book world to bring them out to rescue them before their parents discover. That's like the exact plot of Whatever After books, but fairy tales and not comic books. And
Got
they're
it.
trying to fix it. But anyhows, what is next on the list?
Next up, we have The Union on Netflix. This is with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry.
It is a spy action comedy thriller. So lots of genres in this one too. It's about a construction worker who's roped into the espionage world by his former high school girlfriend. So I think it's kind of funny to see Mark Wahlberg on kind of the other end of what we usually see with his characters as he's being roped into this world. He's usually like the guy who's the spy or the hitman
Yeah.
or like whatever you see him in the movies. But Halle Berry is taking on that role for this one, dragging Mark Wahlberg's character along. So yeah, that comes
I
out
feel
on
like
Netflix.
this is gonna be like a good action rom-com.
Right? I
I
lo
also just love Mark Wahlberg, so
love Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
You could never make me hate you, Marky Mark. Never.
True, very true. But Nicole, I know you're super excited for this album that's coming out on the 16th.
Yes, Mr. Post Malone's highly anticipated. I say highly anticipated because I actually feel like it is in the country community, maybe not to people who don't like country. But Post Malone is releasing his very first country album, F1 Trillion, tomorrow, August 16th. I am so excited for this because we have quite a few singles out this already. Of course, most of the songs on here are collabs. So again, if you're a country fan, you're excited because he released the track list. I'm gonna run through it quickly. He has songs featuring Tim McGraw, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, Hank Williams Jr., Morgan Wallen, Ernest, Blake Shelton, Sierra Farrell, Dolly Parton, Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton, Hardy, Brad Paisley, Billy Strings, and another one with Luke Combs, right? Yeah, there's two with Luke Combs. And he has three songs by himself with no features in it. Of course, we already have the songs I Had Some Help, Guy for That, and where's Blake Shelton's song? Pour Me a Drink. There it is. Yeah, that comes out tomorrow. He has such a good voice for country. I really like this transition of his into the country music world. I totally am all for it. I'm very excited.
He is collecting these country music icons like they're the Infinity Stones.
Listen, there's some big Dolly Parton, Luke Combs, Tim McGraw. Like, come on. That's huge.
What does he have on them that they were like, yeah, no question, first album?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
he
You've
has
never been
some dirt on
country
them.
genre ever, but please come right in.
Yeah, like, I want to know what the conversation was like with all of them because, like, you're
Right?
just coming into country and these icons are like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Did you think it just had a group meeting? Like, let's
A
all
group
meet here.
Zoom call.
Let's all meet here at this time to discuss my new musical endeavors.
They're the Avengers of country music.
For real.
Lastly, on our list, August 20th, we have a new thing on Netflix, Untold, The Murder of Aaron McNair. And
What a title. What a title.
when Nicole read this out for our weekly upcoming releases, she was giggling for a solid minute.
So this documentary tracks the rise of legendary NFL quarterback Steve McNair, also known as Steve Air McNair, and the perplexing details surrounding his shocking murder in 2009.
So not something to giggle about, but Aaron McNair,
No, it's
that's a
not
fun
at
thing to
all.
say.
It's just the title, Air McNair. Come on. That's not what a murder documentary should be called. Anyways, yeah, that's on Netflix on August 20th.
We have reached the end of this week's episode. Obviously, a lot was talked about today, but thanks for sticking along if you made it all the way to the end. Uh,
Yes. Let us know what you think too, whether on Spotify, YouTube, social media. Let us know your thoughts on any or all of the announcements we talked about. Thank you for tuning in to episode 15 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gracie, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.